let's be honest for a second. Have you ever wished you could just hit a reset button? Forget the stuff that hurts? Well, today we're going to dive into a question that sounds simple but is actually incredibly deep. What if you really truly had the power to erase your past?
Just imagine it. I mean, really picture it. There's this technology, right? And it lets you pinpoint any single moment from your life, any memory that keeps you up at night, and you can just, poof, delete it, gone forever. So, what's the first thing you'd get rid of?
You could finally get over that gut-wrenching breakup that still stings. Or, that one super embarrassing moment you just can't stop replaying in your head at 3 in the morning, wiped clean. Even a deeply traumatic experience, just gone, like it never even happened. It's an incredibly tempting offer, isn't it?
And that's the initial pitch, right? That's the seductive promise of this whole idea. It's not just about forgetting something bad. It's about the freedom of a totally fresh start.
The upside seems huge and immediate. Imagine a life with absolutely no heartbreak weighing you down. No regrets holding you back from trying something new. Just a clean slate, a clear head. You're ready for anything. It sounds perfect. But, is it really?
Yeah, this is where that perfect fantasy starts to show some cracks. Because after that first wave of relief washes over you, something else starts to creep in. A strange, unexpected feeling. You start to realize there's a hidden cost to all this peace.
And that's the core paradox of the whole thing. Sure, you definitely feel lighter without the weight of all those awful memories. But you also feel emptier. There's this void where that experience used to be, and you can't quite put your finger on what's missing, but you know something's gone.
And this kind of forces us to totally rethink what pain even is. We're taught to see it as pure suffering, something we should avoid at all costs. But what if pain is more than that? What if it's also a teacher? What if it's the very thing that helps us learn, adapt, and become stronger people?
Because without that lesson, you could get trapped in a really dangerous loop. Let's say you erase a huge failure, like getting out of a really toxic relationship. By erasing the pain, you also erase the lesson. You forget the red flags you learned to spot, the self-respect you fought to gain. So without that knowledge, what's stopping you from making the exact same mistake all over again?
And this leads us to the biggest, most fundamental question of all. Our memories, the good and the bad, are literally the building blocks of our identity. They shape our choices, our fears, our hopes. If you start pulling out those blocks, one by one, at what point do you stop being you?
And the consequences don't just stop with you. Oh no, they ripple out, touching every single person in your life and potentially turning your world into a very, very lonely place. This is so crucial. Think about it. Our relationships are basically woven together from all these shared memories. The inside jokes, the tough times you got through together, the victories you celebrated. If you start erasing those moments, the very fabric of your connection to other people starts to unravel until they're basically just strangers.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Forget the personal stuff. What would happen if this technology went global? We're not just talking about individual identity anymore. We are talking about the potential collapse of society as we know it.
Seriously, just try to imagine a world where a government could erase its own war crimes from history, or wipe out any memory of public protest. A world where criminals could literally delete their guilt and feel zero remorse for what they did. The whole idea of justice would just disappear.
And the end result of all that? Objective truth wouldn't exist anymore. If every single person can edit their own reality, what's actually real? History, morality, basic facts? It all becomes dangerously flexible. You'd be living in a world built on lies.
So let's bring it all back home, back to the core idea here. Maybe, just maybe, the goal shouldn't be to erase our scars, but to actually understand the incredible value that they hold. It all comes down to this simple truth, really. Our joy has so much more depth and meaning because we've also experienced sorrow. The sweetness of success feels so much better because we know the bitter taste of failure. Our toughest moments don't just hurt us, they give meaning to our happiest ones.
So we're left with this one, final, incredibly powerful choice. If someone offered you the button today, right now, what would you do? Would you go for the clean slate, a life free of pain, but maybe also free of the wisdom and depth that comes with it? Or would you choose to keep it all, the hurt and the joy, and remain completely, fully who you are?
Man, that's a tough one, and we honestly want to know what you think. If this explainer got you thinking, do us a favor and hit that like button.
And drop a comment below. If you absolutely had to choose one memory, what would it be? And of course, make sure you subscribe for more deep what-if scenarios just like this one.
Because at the end of the day, we are a mosaic of everything we've been through. And maybe, just maybe, it's those jagged, broken pieces, those really hard memories that actually create the most beautiful and resilient picture of who we are.